Hi everyone! We've had 3 days of torrential rain and we finally have a little bit of a break. Everything is green, everything smells fresh. It's absolutely beautiful out here. So I thought I would dash out, do a quick harvest, and show you around the garden after the rain. Come on, let's go. Well, the garden is absolutely coming to life with the rain. It's so much fun. There's just green everywhere. Look at all these little baby seedlings popping up. They're probably wildflowers. I think we might have some miner's lettuce. I planted arugula over here last year and that reseeds like crazy, so it's absolutely beautiful. I wanted to check over here along the fence. Remember a few weeks ago when we planted some wildflower seeds here? See if anything's popping up. Oh, look at the tulips. They're getting a little bit bigger. It's always a sign of spring to see tulips. It's so much fun. And not a lot of wildflower seeds popping up right up here. It hasn't quite been warm enough for them to grow. Oh, but over here, look, there's some little dill seedlings. They love the cool weather. And here are some little baby seedlings right here popping up by some more tulips. So it's going to be so much fun to see all these wildflowers grow in, to see this fence turn into a beautiful line of color here along the fence. So in this top garden bed here, there's some beautiful greens. We've got some Bok Choy, which look at the green of these leaves. They're so, so pretty. Now Bok Choy is a super, super juicy green, and you can even use the stems, kind of like celery. It's super delicious. We love it stir-fried. We love it in salads. So I'm just gonna pick a bunch here so we have plenty for the next few days, because we are supposed to get quite a bit more rain this week. And I like to just pick the outer leaves here, and then it grows back within another week or so. So pick a few from each plant. Oh, these are so tasty. I think we might even stir fry these up in some scrambled eggs this morning. I love the color of this Bok Choy. Now right behind the Bok Choy, there's some arugula that's starting to bolt. You can see right here. But I'm still gonna pick off some of the leaves. Sometimes when it bolts, it really changes the flavor. Arugula is a super zippy green, but we're gonna pick some anyway and throw it in our salads. Arugula is a beautiful cool weather green. It's in my fall greens or fall seed collection. And the great thing about arugula is it reseeds like crazy. So it's a super, super easy green to plant. And we have to grab some of this purple kale. The color is absolutely beautiful, and I love how the water droplets just sit right there on top of the kale. I think it's so pretty. So the purple kale will add a nice colorful splash to our salads this week. Now I'm gonna pick some of these beautiful red mustard greens. These are one of my favorite greens. I absolutely love the color. And here on the hill in the wintertime, I don't get a lot of sun, so I pretty much just grow greens because they do well in the shade. And these are doing absolutely beautifully with the moisture. So if you live in a southern climate where you're not completely frozen out, it's a perfect time to start some greens. Just throw down some seeds. Got plenty of green seed collections over on my website. The lettuce collection is a great one to start with. Or you could even grow some kale and chard from the heat tolerant collection, even though it's a little bit cooler right now. They're gonna do wonderful in the cool weather as well. Now look at this absolutely beautiful basket. What a color splash. It's gonna be so much fun to eat these colorful greens this week. One thing that grows beautifully here in Southern California in the wintertime is peas. I planted some here in this tomato cage a few weeks ago, and look, they're popping through the soil. Isn't it fun to see your new baby seedlings pop through the soil? I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Now in the tomato cage, right here at the end of the garden bed, there were tomatoes planted here in the summertime, and I just left the cage in and planted a whole bunch of peas encircling the cage, and they're gonna grow up and fill this tomato trellis in over the next couple of months, and we'll be harvesting some peas in probably about 6 to 8 weeks, so that'll be a lot of fun too. One thing that's so much fun to see out here after the rain is the poppies. Now poppies are such an easy flower to plant. You can see they're popping up here all over the place. And I think I only planted these once or twice, but they basically come back every single year, and they're one of the earliest flowers you can plant in the springtime. So pretty soon these plants will be covered in bright orange flowers. You can see they're just popping up everywhere. And they really like the cool weather of the spring. So if you want some poppy seeds, pick up one of my cool season flower collection. They're an absolutely gorgeous flower to plant. Now in this garden bed here, it's just filled with absolutely beautiful greens. Look at this lettuce here. It's so gorgeous. This is the Paris Cause romaine lettuce from the lettuce seed collection. And look at this beautiful romaine head that it's forming. Now, some people come in here and when they harvest lettuce, they cut the lettuce off completely at the base. I like to just harvest a few of the leaves around the edge, like I showed you with the Bok Choy, because then the lettuce continues to grow. It's called the cut and come again method. We're cutting it off and then we'll come back again and grow some new leaves in a couple of weeks. Now it's kind of fun to pick the lettuce in the morning when it's the juiciest. See those little milky white substance coming out? That's what makes the lettuce nice and sweet. So if you pick it in the morning, oftentimes you'll see more of that juice coming out. So I'll pick a few of these leaves and then we're going to move right down here. I love the different colors and textures of these greens. I think it looks so pretty and the rain is just making it absolutely pop with color. This is the price head lettuce. Nice roughly leaves and a beautiful kind of reddish green color. It's one of my favorite kinds of lettuces. It's nice and sweet. We're going to have some wonderful salads this week and stir fries with all these beautiful greens. I mean, look at the colors here. This is an oak leaf lettuce. It's like the garden is just coming to life. Now I've edged this garden bed with Dianthus. They're a beautiful, short, cool season flower, perfect for edging your garden bed with. Very delicate looking. I absolutely love the colors. They do great in the spring in the cool weather. You can pick those seeds up in my cool season flower collection. Now the nasturtiums are going absolutely crazy with all this rain. I love how they kind of cascade over the garden beds here. Don't have a lot of flowers on them yet because they need a little bit more sun for the flowers to appear. But I am going to grab some on my way by because they are edible and they make a really nice tasty zip to the salads. Now over here you notice this garden bed is covered with plastic, and the reason for that is because I want to dig this garden bed up and prep it for planting within a couple of weeks, and I knew if I left it completely uncovered it would get soaked by the rain and have to wait a few more weeks for it to dry out. So hopefully my plan worked. I didn't have time to completely dig out everything that's underneath that plastic before the rain started, so I just threw a piece of plastic over and hopefully that'll do the trick. Now I did want to harvest some herbs here from the veggie pod, and this was all planted up just a few weeks ago, but we ended up eating all the greens that were in here. So I replanted rows of lettuce in here right before it started to rain, but I've got some herbs back here that I wanted to harvest. Here's some cilantro. The cilantro does great in the cool weather months, and it's done absolutely beautifully here in the shade. So this is under a big magnolia tree, so it's done great in the shade here in the winter time. And this dill. Dill is one of my favorite cool weather herbs. I love the feathery, delicate look of the dill. And we love putting it on scrambled eggs and omelets and on top of fish and chicken. So delicious. You notice I'm just picking off a couple from each plant because I want it to grow back. I don't want to harvest everything. I want it to keep on growing. I'm not pulling the plants out. Now here in the container garden, these collards are looking absolutely beautiful. I love the water droplets. Just looks so, so pretty and delicate. I guess Mac likes it too. But I'm going to harvest some of these collards. They are growing absolutely beautifully in the cool, wet weather. And they're going to be tasty stir-fried, sauteed, throw it into a soup or a salad this week or a smoothie. These are so pretty. And these are growing here in a 20-gallon Smart Pots container. And they're doing absolutely beautifully. They love the nice loose soil. And they are just looking gorgeous. Now poor Mac, he's been cooped up all week too in the rain, so he's really enjoying getting out in the garden today. Aren't you, Mac? You can see here this pepper has been growing since last summer, and it's taken a little bit of a beating with the cold nights we've had. So I'll probably just trim this one back at some point in time, and hopefully it'll grow back once the weather gets warmer. Now I am going to harvest a little bit of kale from this garden bed right here. Now, interesting thing is this garden bed hardly gets any sun at all. It's shaded by a big magnolia tree right overhead, and it's growing extremely slowly in the winter time. So here I planted some of my fall vegetables. I believe, well, this is definitely the red Russian Kale, which is absolutely beautiful, from the Fall Garden Seed Collection. And in here is some broccoli and cauliflower, and you can see it hasn't grown much at all. I'm hoping the weather will stay cool enough so these will grow and get big and I'll be able to harvest some. But you never know in Southern California. A lot of times we have unseasonably hot weather and it's really hard to grow broccoli and cauliflower. Now in contrast, the garden bed in the opposite corner of the deck over here gets about 3 to 4 hours more of sunlight per day, and look at the difference in the growth. We actually picked a kohlrabi from here, I think on the last harvest video. There's tons more going on here, and I'm actually going to be pulling a lot of this out over the next few weeks to make room for the salsa garden very soon. But look at these onions. I actually think I'm going to pull a few of these, are the little small bunching onions, so we'll throw these maybe in our omelet this morning. Whoops, it might be hard to pull out. I don't know if that's quite ready to come out. Here we go, I'll dig down in there. So these are the little bunching onions. You can see they're teeny tiny green onions. I could grow these a little bit longer and get them bigger, but I am going to pull out a few just so we have some for the week. These are so easy to grow, and these are in the salsa seed collection as well. So let's also pull maybe some of these greens here. I don't even remember what this one is. It could be a kohlrabi. Could be like a purple broccoli, but we'll pull a few of the greens and throw them in our salads. And I love this right here. I'm not sure what it is. I think it might be endive. So if any of you know what it is, I don't remember what I planted here. It's always fun though to experiment in the garden, but I love the swirly look of it. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? So I think I'll take some leaves from it as well. You can see there's one kind of heading up over there on the other side. Now you might remember a few weeks ago in our prep for lots of rain, we actually covered up these 3 containers with a shade cloth to protect it from the heavy rain. And a lot of progress is being made here. I uncovered them on a couple of days of sunshine, but you can see the growth. Now, the protection did work from the rain. However, we've had some bunny issues in our garden, and this kohlrabi, unfortunately, the tops got eaten off either by a bunny or maybe some slugs. So that's kind of a bummer, but hopefully they'll continue to grow. But over here, the cilantro and the chives are coming up absolutely beautifully. I love the delicate look of the chives right here. Look at these little seeds. I love how they just kind of stay right on top of the chives. I just think it looks so beautiful. So we're looking forward to seeing the growth and coming in here and giving the chives a nice little haircut, which will give us some chives for our omelets and for our salads. Now right back here, the carrots are continuing to grow. The growth is a little bit slow on these, but hopefully as we have more sunshine, they'll really take off as well. But I am going to cover this back up because we're expecting some more rain for the next couple of days. In fact, it could start raining at any moment that we're out here filming, so hopefully we'll get our video in before it does. Hey Jerry, do you remember planting this?
Yes, I do.
Look at that, a radish.
Very much. That's so cool.
Look at that. This is the French breakfast radish from the Fall Garden Seed Collection. Isn't that beautiful?
It is. I don't really remember that was what it's called, but I do remember planting it.
And there's also some radishes popping up in the front here.
Yep.
So I'm hoping for some quicker growth, some more kohlrabi popping up back here.
Now, to me this seems a little bare. Is that something I did wrong?
No, nothing you did wrong. It's just the weather has been so wonky, and you can see here it's getting super saturated.
Yes.
Which sometimes it gets too wet, and that helps, that really slows down the growth. Now I did kind of go out on a limb the other day, and I planted some tomatoes in here. I always say it's good to experiment in the garden, and these are tiny Tim tomatoes. They were growing in the house, and really my inside garden was just outgrowing the inside, so I planted them outside. These are little 2-foot tall tomatoes, and you can see they're already developing flowers. I think there's a little teeny tomato here actually. Look at that.
Oh yes, there is.
Look at that. Oh, it's so exciting.
I don't know if I can get that. Oh yes.
I didn't know how it would do because the nights are in the 40s, but these tomatoes are taking the cold and still going strong.
That's cool.
So this is a little small determinate tomato. These are in the small space garden seed collection, really work well in containers. So I'm really happy with that.
So at least that's doing really good in here.
Yeah. Hopefully the radishes it'll dry out and maybe the sun will come out this week and we'll have some more growth on this garden bed. Now I wanted to show you guys our vertical garden cattle panel trellis here. Remember how we shored this up a month or so ago? Well, it is still holding up strong with all the wind and the rain we have. So CameraGuy, good job.
Yeah, we did good on this together, I have to admit.
Nice and sturdy.
Yeah, it's solid.
And the exciting thing is the beans and the peas we planted are starting to come up. So right back here along the back trellis part, we planted some sugar snap peas. So look at those. It's going to be so much fun to see these grow up and fill in the trellis. And the front is what I'm super excited about with the Scarlet runner beans. Now the seedlings are popping up absolutely beautifully. Scarlet runner beans love the cooler weather of the wintertime here in California or the early spring, and if you're in a northern climate. And it's so much fun to see them pop through the soil. They grow so fast. And I actually popped in some seedlings I started in the house, and these are growing quite a bit taller because they were taller when I planted them, and they're winding around the trellis. It's going to be so much fun to see this completely covered in scarlet runner beans. The flowers are just beautiful and red, and the beans are nice and tender. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now you also might remember on that video, I accidentally had chopped off one of the tomato plants. Well, I was able to save one of them, and I decided just to grow it up the trellis, and I'm tying it on here with that plastic stretchy tie tape. Little tomato right here, that's exciting. And some flowers starting to bloom. So always a sign of spring. I love seeing that first tomato in the garden.
You know what I like about this whole trellis thing is just the backstory behind it. Remember how, we went out to the store out in Lowe's way out and we built this. Remember the year that we put plastic over this? We put doors on it. We had a light bulb in here. We just have all kinds of cool memories with this, and just how much we reuse it over and over again.
Yeah, we've reused this for probably 3 or 4 years now.
Yep. Oh my gosh, it's starting to rain. We're committed to finishing this video, even if it means in the rain. All right, let's get going. Oh my gosh, it's coming down.
Okay, it is starting to come down here, guys, but I wanted to finish the video up here and just show you, look at the new growth on this orange tree. Remember when we harvested a few oranges here? See, look, it's popping out with brand new leaves. Super exciting. It means new oranges are on the way.
Yay!
And look at the seedlings popping out down here. I think those are probably red profusion zinnias.
Here comes another batch of rain and wind.
Oh my gosh, we better finish this up here. I got to get some kale here. The red Russian kale is going crazy in the rain. Again, all the water droplets are absolutely beautiful.
They really are.
Look at the color. I have been cutting back this kale. I've cut it off at the stem multiple times, completely cut all the leaves off, and it just keeps growing back. I want to say for about 2 years now, maybe even 3 years, this kale has been in here, the same plants. So we had to go inside and grab the rain gear because it's really coming down in sheets lately. This is what it's been like in Southern California over the past week or so. Now I know a lot of you are dealing with the polar vortex, and hopefully that's gone away and you're staying a little bit warmer now. But here we're going to grab some chard, which is growing actually in the back of the strawberry crate towers, and it absolutely loves the cool wet weather as well. And these leaves are nice and big. They're going to make really nice wraps. We'll throw them in some smoothies this week as well. And they grow beautifully here in the towers, which are a great way to grow your food vertically and grow a lot of food in a little bit of space. I can't even see here from my raincoat. Let me see if there's anything else back
Hey God, where's Mac? Oh, there he is.
Oh, where's Mac?
He doesn't want to miss out.
In fact, I've got to get a little shot here. You guys have to see what CameraGuy is doing to film here for you guys. I'm going to get a shot of him on my iPhone. If I can turn it on in the rain. He is committed to getting the shot. Way to go, CameraGuy.
That's right. We're going to get this thing shot today.
Camera. Is your camera going to be okay?
I don't know.
Let's hope so.
This is totally MacGyvered, so we'll see how it does.
I'm also going to grab some celery here. I really want to make some nice warm cozy soup this week. Now this celery actually is regrown from a store-bought celery. I planted one a couple of years ago and it reseeds and grows all over the garden. I think I've only planted one or two, and there's, oh, if I can get these out here. I don't want to dig out my scissors. I'm just going to pull. There we go. Look at these beautiful celery stalks. We'll add them here to the harvest basket. There we go. It can take a beating. And now I want to come in here and grab some sage real quick for my chicken soup. You can see that it is good chicken soup weather. And we have another big, huge celery plant growing right here. This sage plant is getting all weighted down by the rain, and I am going to have to dig my scissors out for that. But sage is a great, super hardy herb, and the leaves are absolutely delicious in like a cream sauce over chicken or thrown in soup. And it also has beautiful purple flowers once it goes to seed. So let's move over here and see what else we have going on. We still have some butternut squash in. The tomatoes are looking pretty bedraggled and cold damaged. The Siberian tomato is a cold tolerant tomato. It is getting a little bit cold damaged, but we do have some tomatoes on here. We just need some more sunshine, guys. These garden beds have been in the shade in the wintertime, but look at that. We still have a tomato surviving the winter. These are the Siberian tomato and one more right here. And we still do have some tomatoes here, guys, or some new tomatoes popping up. There's one right here and another one over on the other side of the plant. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here on our rainy day harvest and garden tour. This was so much fun, even in the rain, wasn't it?
Yep.
So head over to my website, pick up some seeds. The spring garden collection would be a great one to start with. Hope you guys are having a great day and happy gardening. Spring is coming soon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video.
See ya.
Bye-bye.